If you ever wonder where all the computer science classes you took and all the coding you've heard about and learned can actually ever take you in life, well, today I'd like to talk to you about a business intelligence analyst. And this is an IT job where you would get to use all the computer science, coding and programming and developing knowledge that you have attained. And we'll see what a job like this would entail and how you can grow and become someone that would be eligible and be able to work in a field like this and be successful. So starting off with description of the job. So business intelligence analysts have to create methods for identifying data patterns and trends in available information sources. They analyze competitive market strategies through analysis of related product, market, or shared trends, and synthesize current business intelligence or trend data to support recommendations for action. This is crucial in business and marketing and finance in specific because information and data is always needed to make any decisions or even make a proper business plan. Decisions can't be made without information because those would not be reliable or smart decisions. So information and data are always needed and consulted before any decisions are made. And these informations aren't always attained in direct surveys and interviews. Most actually come from computers and they're not clear answers but are statistics and numbers. The information can be difficult because of the places they're attained from. For example, scanners at a grocery store as to how much of something is bought can be attained, but those would be raw numbers that would seem like nothing without the ability of finding a pattern in there. For example, those numbers might suggest that ice cream is bought most from 5 to 8, which could help a grocery store decide when to advertise that product or when to put it on sale, but that decision cannot be attained without having to find patterns and dig through the information. They can be found out with the naked eye, and so programs are developed and computers are used to process this information for businesses, and this is essentially the job of a business intelligence analyst, and this is what they do on a regular basis. Now discussing the outlook of the job. Whenever one is deciding what career they will choose, it is crucial to decide whether or not that the career path or the field they're going into is actually one that will grow over the years, because you don't want to go into a career that's dying and something that can be taken over by technology as technology is growing so rapidly. Such as accounting is a job that's well respected. However, it is foreseen that computers and potentially robots might one day be able to take over this job. So it is important to understand that whatever job you choose may be valued and paid at the moment. However, it's important to be able to predict the future in a way that you will make sure that the decisions you make right now don't affect you negatively later in the future. This job specifically currently has around 414,872 people in it in Ontario, and that number is the amount of people currently hired, and by 2020 that number is expected to rise to 495,168 people. That is quite a big jump, and as you can see, the graph shows a steady increase in the job, and the people that are pursuing this career will likely not be stumped or unemployed very long, as overall the general scheme of things looks like the job will be on the rise. So choosing this career will likely not involve too many issues in the future. However, like I said before, not always are you able to predict what's going to happen, but this will give you a general idea and that things should go pretty well. In fact, there are a few jobs available as I make this video. One is available at BMO, one's available at Nexus Systems, and there's even one at IBM. So clearly there isn't a lack of jobs at the moment, as some can be found right now and there are employment spaces. So as there are jobs right now, it's likely going to increase in the future as well, and it shouldn't be too hard for someone to find a job if going into this IT sector of business and finance. Whenever one decides a career or a field to go in and finally looks for a job, it is important to know where one will be working and how the workplace environment is, because sometimes that work environment that you expect is not the one you actually end up getting, and you want to make sure that it's comfortable, it's safe, and it's one that will help you be your most productive self. So in this case, the workplace would not be considered just an office with a desk and a computer, even though that is a component, of course. They do have offices in where one can work and focus on what they're doing. However, they have to spend a lot of time in other clients' offices and workplaces also, because not always are you working for your own company. Sometimes you have clients to work for, and you have to go to their workplaces and their offices to be instructed on what they want you to do. This means two specific things. One, that this involves a lot of travel, because not always are those clients close by, and so you may have to travel for a while and travel farther away, because you can't always discuss everything over the phone or over a Skype call. Sometimes you have to go and actually meet them. And second, it means that the people must work under tight schedules, because whatever the client tells you to do, you might have to do, and you might not always have all the time in the world to do it. So people in this workplace can expect tight schedules, and it can be stressful and have a heavy workload. But like most things, if someone determines a specific plan and has a plan of action, it shouldn't be unmanageable, but it can become stressful at times. However, that can be said for many workplaces. So moving on to pay. Like any job, the amount of money you make will grow the longer you work and the better you work in that industry, in that company, or under that job title. There are on-job promotions and bonuses to be had, and they can be attained depending on how well you work, how long you work, and how your employer sees you work. For a beginner job with someone that has just started, will make somewhere around $46,000 a year. On specific, he would make $46,157. That value is specific to Ontario. Other provinces such as Alberta will range from 30 to 50, but on average it's around 46,000. Once you have worked at the company a while and been a reliable employee, you can come to make somewhere around 75,000 a year, while the highest pay in Ontario you will get for this job title will be 110K a year, which is again specific to Ontario. As you can see, in Alberta you can get around 120K a year. However, that is a big change that is specific to the province you work in. Moving on to requirements. If one chooses to enter this field, they will obviously need to require a high school diploma. Once that is attained, one would need a bachelor's degree in computer science, computer systems engineering, software development, business administration, or related and similar degree. Some potential university programs include actuarial science, economics, biotechnology, international development, or mathematical economics. As you can see, these requirements for a bachelor's aren't too specific, as it is a business component to this job, as well as an IT and development component to the job. So whatever degree seems like it would get the job done will likely be accepted. However, the ones I mentioned above are likely the best ones to stick with, including the university programs. But what would one need to do to get into these university programs and eventually pursue the career? In high school, they would need credits consisting of grade 12 English, advanced functions, calculus, and vectors. They would need 2 of either biology, chemistry, physics, earth and space, or data management, and 1 additional university level grade 12 course. This isn't very special, as most universities require even more specific categories and classes, so this list of requirements is quite common and to be expected for any business or IT program in university. After the courses are taken, high school is passed, and university is attended, one would be able to go get a job. Like any other job, on-the-job training or experience may be required. And as everyone knows, experience is highly valuable, and sometimes even more so than the education you have received. So depending on the company, they might even require some experience before you can get hired. So Waterloo actually offers all the programs mentioned above, including co-op, which is essentially school along with work experience. So one from university will graduate with work experience as well as the education they require, which could be heavily beneficial when considering this career.